This is Jarrod Horak, and in this handicapping video, I'm going to analyze the Grade 3 Iroquois Stakes at Churchill Downs for Saturday, September 16th, and this kicks off the road to the 2024 Kentucky Derby video series. I'm going to be covering all of these points races in video format, and then also for the Kentucky Oaks video series, I will be doing the same thing. And check out today's racingdigest.com for the companion article to this video. I'm going to go through the field, the pace scenario in that article. I'm going to give out my selections first to last and my wagering strategies. So check out that handicapping article for this Iroquois Stakes at today's racingdigest.com in their news section. And I have a lot of other handicapping articles that I've been posting there all summer, and I'm going to continue to do so. So keep checking out today's racingdigest.com for all of those articles. And now we will get into the analysis of this video. Before I do, the past performances in this video are provided by today's racingdigest.com, and we're going to be doing the 9th race from Churchill Downs for Saturday, September 16th, the Grade 3 $300,000 Iroquois Stakes for 2-year-olds traveling 1 mile around one turn on the main track, and the scheduled post time 4:55 p.m. Eastern. Breaking from the inside post here, Liberal Arts. This is a son of Arrogate, and this horse has run 3 times with a win, a second, and a third. The trainer here is Robert Medina, and Christian Torres is going to ride, and he rode this horse to victory last time out. But going back to his career debut, 5-furlong debut, he rallied from 8th place to finish 3rd, beaten 7 lengths. Second time out, I like the distance progression from 5 furlongs in the debut to 6 furlongs second time out. And in that second time race, he stalked, he led, and then he ended up finishing second. So good effort. Edified defeated him that day, and that horse is in this race. And then Liberal Arts was able to break through with a maiden win from post 11 last time out under Christian Torres at 6-1 odds. That was an 11-horse field. So breaking from that outside post, outside stalking trip, won by a length. Speed ratings are on the rise here. This one at 20-1 morning line, not the worst stab. You should continue to get better. Went from 5 furlongs to 6 furlongs to a 7-furlong victory to now a 1-turn mile. Nice progression here, decent pedigree, could easily continue to get better. And if you're playing exotics, not the worst horse to throw into the trifectas and superfectas. West Saratoga, a horse that should show some speed in here, is number 2, 8-1 morning line with Rafael Bejarano riding. 5 starts with a win and 3 second-place finishes. This horse has run twice at Churchill Downs, finished second both times, 1 for 1 at this 1-mile distance. Finished 4th in the debut at 4.5 furlongs at Keeneland in the spring. Second time out at Churchill Downs, second beaten 6 lengths. Had the runner-up spot after dueling on the lead in the 3rd career start at Churchill at 5 furlongs. Went to 7 furlongs on July 21st at Ellis Park, chased the pace, finished second behind Timberlake, a runaway winner there, and Timberlake was able to come back and finish second in the Grade 1 hopeful at Saratoga. And West Saratoga was more than 8 lengths clear of the show finisher. Show finisher was the next out winner. West Saratoga was the next out winner, going wire to wire in a 1-mile race at Ellis Park on August 5th. Took some decent money that day as well. So Bejarano is going to stay aboard, and this one will probably try to be forwardly placed. Number 3 in here, Union Roll. This is a Union Rags colt, and AP Indy is the dam sire. So looking at the pedigree, more distance will probably be his friend. And in his debut at Monmouth at 6 furlongs, he was 7-1, and he was able to stalk the pace professionally and kick away and win by more than 5 lengths. Gerardo Corrales is going to ride for the first time, and he's 2 for 5 with trainer Todd Pletcher. And this horse I can see certainly improving over a route of ground. Decent effort at 6 furlongs at Monmouth last time. He's going to have to run faster, but could easily do that. Edified is next for trainer Steve Asmussen. This is a son of Tappet. Not for Love is the dam sire, and they paid $650,000 for this one. And he really looked good in the debut. He was able to get out there and stalk the pace in the debut from post 2 in a 9-horse field, and then he kicked away and he won by more than 3 lengths. Liberal Arts, the runner-up in this race, was the next out winner, and then Edified shipped to Saratoga after that debut victory at Ellis Park for the Grade 2 Saratoga Special on August 12th. And in that race, he just never really was able to get in there. He was fifth, about 3 lengths back at the quarter, and he was 2.5 lengths back at the halfway point. Then he dropped back after that. He ended up finishing fifth in a 6-horse field, beaten 14 lengths. Rhyme Schemes dominated that one by more than 9 lengths. Market Street was second. Market Street is back here. So Edified, based on that debut and how much money they paid and the decent pedigree, I can see him bouncing back, and he should offer some value as well. Market Street is next. This is a son of Street Sense, and they paid $275,000 for this colt. 2022 Keeneland September sales, and he's run 4 times with a win and a second. Ran well in the debut in the slop. That was at Ellis Park on June 29th. That day, he was able to just get out there and control the pace and keep on going. You see that a lot in those shorter races early on in the 2-year-old campaigns, and he handled a wet track just fine. Second time out at Saratoga, the Grade 3 Sanford. He was all over the pace that day. The pace was fairly lively, 22, 45, and 4. Was pressing, and then he led, and then after that, he started to fade out of it, and he finished 6th, beaten 8 lengths. They tried him in the Grade 2 Saratoga Special, and he set the pace, but he did hold second. Rhyme Schemes dominated that one, but Market Street was able to hold off everybody else and finish second in that race. Then they tried him in a turf route in the Grade 3 with Anticipation, a 1.16 miles on the inner turf at Saratoga on a good turf course on August 31st. Again, he got out there and he set the pace, and then he weakened to finish last of 7 in that day for that race. He was beaten on more than 9.5 lengths. So Market Street getting back on the main track, it's going to be a pace factor for sure, and we'll see how long he can hang in there. His speed ratings really haven't been going anywhere. He's just kind of just stuck running around the same kind of race where he gets out there, sets the pace, just isn't able to keep going like he did in his debut in the slop. Seize the Gray is a bit interesting. This one is a son of Arrogate, and Smart Strike is the dam sire. The dam was stakes placed, Smart Shopping. This is a D. Wayne Lucas trainee, and they paid $300,000 for this one. This is a My Racehorse horse here, and in the debut, 8th, beaten 17 lengths, didn't really show a lot. Edified, Liberal Arts were 1-2 that day. They both came out of that race. Liberal Arts came back to win. Edified came back to disappoint, but they're both in this race. And then Seize the Gray looked like a different horse second time out in the slop at Saratoga, and he was 16-1, and he just went right out there, battled on the pace, and he won professionally by 1 3/4 lengths. The show finisher was the next out winner, and then Seize the Gray came back in the Skidmore Stakes, a race originally scheduled for the turf at Saratoga, run at 5.5 furlongs in the mud. That was on August 18th, and in that race, just had a bad start. He figured to be, based on that second career start, right up on the pace, but he wasn't able to have a good start here as the beaten favorite, and he was 9th and last for a good portion of the race for at least 4 furlongs or so. And then in the stretch, he really kicked it in nicely, and he finished 3rd, beaten more than 2 lengths, and it was more than 7 lengths back to the rest. So even though that wasn't a fast race, I thought that was a quality effort. And that second time out race, he earned a decent speed rating. So he's one that I think that they want him to be much closer to the pace, like he was in his second start when he won that race under Jamie Torres. That's the only time Torres rode, and now he's back aboard here. And I would expect that they think that they would like to do what Torres did on July 29th, get him right out there and into the race early. Number 7, Gettysburg Address. This is a son of Constitution, and Pioneer of the Nile is the dam sire. He's bred to go on and handle longer distances. And in his career debut, he was 8-1 at Ellis Park at 6 furlongs, and he was able to stalk and score by 3/4 of a length. Didn't earn a strong speed rating, but this Brad Cox trainee with Flavian Prat aboard, with that pedigree that says he should continue to get better as he gets some experience and some distance under his belt, I could certainly see him maybe improving and outrunning his 12-1 morning line. Risk It is number 8 for trainer Steve Asmussen. This is a son of Gun Runner, and Broken Vow is the dam sire here, and they paid $500,000 for this one in the 2022 Keeneland September sales. And he did not disappoint in the debut. He was the favorite. Saratoga, 6 furlongs, fast track, August 19th. Inside post, 7-horse field. went right to the lead, broke right on top, 22 and change, 46 for the half. This race was over early. He had a nice two-length lead early. They cut into that margin a little bit, but he was just in complete command here, and he was able to kick away again under Tyler Gaffalione and win by 4.5 lengths. Very good, solid effort. After that race, they said they were going to be pointing to the Iroquois. That's exactly what they're doing here. He had a Saratoga training track bullet on September 4th, and I would expect that based on that debut speed rating and how he looked with that good speed, he should make his presence felt from the outset. Number 9, Patriot Spirit. This is another son of Constitution. Game Plan is the dam sire, and they paid $235,000 for this one. And his unveiling was at Colonial Downs at 7 furlongs on August 25th. And he, from post 8, dominated that race. Stalked from second, took over, opened up a 2-length lead, and then he cruised home by 6 lengths. He was 2-1. Very good effort there. And now we're going to see, as he's probably going to be facing some better company here in his second start, but he's off to a good start in his career. So with these lightly raced horses, they can go so many different ways. We see some, they do well in their debuts and they can't back that up. And then we see horses that are bred for some longer distances that may not have run the flashiest of speed ratings start to get faster. Maybe that'll be the case with Patriot Spirit. He's one that certainly could jump up and run better. I can see Gettysburg Address improving, but he's going to definitely have to run much faster. Seize the Gray, if he can run back to that maiden win in the slop. He's interesting up near the lead. Market Street's a pace factor, but I don't think he's going to be around at the end. Edified is one that if he can build off of that debut and just forget that last race in the Saratoga Special, they paid a lot for this one. Good pedigree. Would not be surprised if he's going to be a much better horse down the road. Union Roll could certainly do well for trainer Todd Pletcher. West Saratoga should impact the pace, and then Liberal Arts from the inside coast should save ground, stalking the pace. So looking at this overall complexion of this race, I think it definitely goes through the 8 risk it. I'm going to make him my top choice. He was the favorite in his debut. He was just so sharp from start to finish, and he earned a solid speed rating. And I think that he's one that's been pointing to this race, and he's certainly, as a son of gun runner, bred to go at least a 1-turn mile. And he's drawn outside most of his other pace rivals. So he's one, we don't know if he's going to be a need to lead type, but he's one that should be all over the pace while out in the clear. And I think if he can run a bit faster than he did in his debut, this $500,000 son of gun runner could certainly get the job done and get some Kentucky Derby points winning this Iroquois Stakes. So Risk It will be my top choice in the Iroquois Stakes. Again, remember to check out my handicapping article for this race. I'm going to be giving out some wagering strategies and my top contenders first to last, just like I have been doing. I did that in the Pacific Classic and in some other races as well, the Del Mar Debutante, the Del Mar Futurity, and I've had some success in those races, in those articles, giving out some trifectas. So remember, this in the video, I'm only giving out my top choice, but then in my articles, I got all of my wagering strategies. So make sure to check those out, because I got some good trifecta strategies that I think could end up panning out in these races. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. And thank you for today's Racing Digest for providing the past performances. And check out their website for my handicapping articles and other handicapping products that they offer. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.